So this is going to be a thing. Could be a thing for multiple reasons, but we're going fishing today. This is supposed to be a multiplayer server, and I don't see any multiplayer chat or anything, so we may have to switch to single player, because I kind of wanted to see if we could catch Goldstein today. But the first thing we're going to do is just see if we can actually catch a fish, because if nothing wants to hit, I probably should change the lure on that. If nothing wants to hit, we're going to have to switch to single player. YouTube has changed what's that, Mel? Let's go to the old trusty size 5. Servers are down. It kind of does feel that way. So if I go to single player, will that work? Top of the noon. What's going on, Floridian? Can you go to Norway? We'll probably go to Norway at some point today. However, I do want to start in Golden Ridge because if we can catch Goldstein, that would be a pretty cool way to spend this stream. The stream view is weird. Oh, that's interesting. Apex Connect is down, so let's see. Does it activate the legendary mission in single player? I don't think it does. Well then, we shall see if we can actually catch fish. I think we should still be able to catch fish, but I don't know how that's going to work. Is there any way to play just single player? Did you happen to see what I just did there? I don't think you can do it from here. Oh, you can. So you go to your options, multiplayer, and then you can turn multiplayer off here. The only thing is, what I find is that when you do that, it doesn't carry over. So like the next time you launch the game, it'll put you into multiplayer if you don't change it. You're in an online server, but you're on console. It should be cross-platform. Everything should be the same. Just gonna see if we can catch a fish, and then we'll go from there. Just started the game literally 30 minutes ago. Nice, man. I'll be honest, there's a lot of stuff I'm still learning as well. I'm really trying to, like, grasp some of the more, like, minute details of the game. What size lure to use to catch diamonds, stuff like that. You know, when I got started in the game, it didn't really work that way. For instance, I caught a diamond rainbow on some small lure, and you still can do that, but if you really want to target diamonds, you want to go for bigger stuff. So there we go, got a little something on there, and at least it's gonna work. If we can't catch a legendary today, that is absolutely fine. We will just haul in some of these guys. That looks like a golden trout. Not too bad. We don't catch nearly as many of those these days. Did it show up? The legendary thing did not. I don't know what that was, but we're just gonna send this out here again. Was so excited when I found out it released on console. I'm so happy for console players, because I know it was the same thing with the Hunter Call of the Wild when it came out. It was tough. Like, it came out on PC, it was there for, what, 8 months? October? Until console finally got it, and unfortunately the Angler was kind of the same way, but from what I'm seeing, and you know, bigger servers are down when I'm going to talk about this. However, I feel like they're making strides. I feel like they're doing good things with this game. And if they keep on doing good things with this game and keep on making good decisions and all that stuff, I think they're going to do exactly what they did with the Hunter Call of the Wild. And that is, take a game that was pretty bare bones when it came out, probably should have been called beta, and turn it around. So far, they're doing that. What's up, Rebecca? You can still catch legendaries in multiplayer if multiplayer is on, even if you don't connect to a lobby. Shouldn't it still say, like, on the left, though, Golden Ridge Reserve Legendary Fish Active or whatever it is? It's something to that effect. What's up, Pizza? Zebby, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Hey there, buckaroo. I have had that guy's voice off since legit like day 2. I don't even remember what it sounds like. Will Goldstein go after shad or grub? Well, the best thing in my opinion is to just look at the recommended baits for them. So popper, frog, crankbait. I like the popper personally. I have found that to be really effective, not only with Goldstein in particular, but most legendaries. You can catch legendaries, I believe, on non-recommended baits and lures, but it's a lower chance. It did on my game even though I didn't connect to a lobby? Okay. Well, tell you what then, we'll do a little fishing here. What we're going to do is throw on, I might do size 3? Nope, that's the wrong one. Unfortunately, they look very similar. Try this again. Size 3 is also silver. There we go. See if we can catch a big trout or two, and then we'll go and see if we can find him. I actually haven't even looked into where he's spawning. I don't know what that was, but we're just going to cast in that general direction. Why don't my challenges track any progress? That seems to be a server issue. My guess is that maybe the Angler wasn't prepared for the amount of players that we're going to get it on console. I don't know exactly what it is, but it absolutely seems to be a thing where the servers are like lagging way behind when it comes to challenges. And if we can, well, either way, if we catch a fish or if we don't catch a fish on this cast, I'll go into my challenges and show you what I'm talking about. But it's not just that they don't track progress, it's just, it's like it's really, really delayed, and it does seem to skip a lot of the fish you catch and not count that stuff. Want to catch my first legendary? Goldstein's a good first one to go after. He is active. I haven't even looked into where he actually is. However, we can do that today. So yeah, like if we go into... Oh, they're just not even up now. Alright, well I would say they're definitely being worked on, if that's what that looks like. But essentially, like I had a challenge to catch 110 pounds worth of fish. And the way that it ended up working out was, like I had probably caught 200 pounds worth of fish. And then suddenly I got a couple of updates that it was, like, progressing. So, I think it's just probably the servers are overloaded at the moment, but it's hard to say. What's up, KC? We're not fishing necessarily for anything in particular. I just wanted to see if we could catch a couple fish. I was planning on going after Goldstein, which I believe you just did, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure if that's going to work. I'm told that it will work, even though the servers are being a little bit funny today. Go down one size. Probably, if we keep doing this, we could catch, like, a particularly large fish, but I don't hate the idea of dropping that down. What rod and reel? Let me show you that before we even start retrieving this. So this is the Devil's Advocate rod, which we can't go anything because we're actually casted out right now. The reel I can't pronounce. It's the, I think it's 30-something pound strength. And then obviously fluorocarbon line. You could put braid on this, and I think it would work just as well, but I don't know. For me, I wouldn't be fishing with a spoon lure with braid unless I'm maybe going after some really big pike and stuff like that. Best lure / bait for gold green sunfish mission. Okay. So I will be perfectly honest with you, I'm not exactly sure of the best hook size for that. Probably 7 or 8. That would be my guess. I'm trying to think of what I've caught sunfish on. You can obviously check the handbook to see the recommended baits and lures. But I would probably go with... I'd start with a size 8, and if you're catching a bunch of like bronze and silvers, go up a size. That's generally a good rule of thumb. And then as for what you're using, I think bloodworm is what I was using. Red worms work too, but bloodworm seems like a good idea. Alright, nothing wants to bite here. Why don't we? I kind of want to take a boat. Kind of want to take a boat. This is some nice water. Let's do that. Spent about 4 hours trying to get him to bite, but no sign of him yet. Got the pike in one cast. That was about how I went with the pike as well. I have not messed with Goldstein at all this week. The last time I got him, it was kind of like that. Like, it took a while. I had a hard time finding him. I heard like a splash or something, turned around, and he was right there. Is 12 pound good for walleye? That's very good. I think diamond is 15-ish, so you're right there, like almost at, at diamond. Hotspot for walleye. So the thing about walleye, as you may already know, they are a nocturnal fish, so you're really only going to catch them in the very late evening and into the night. So one of the better areas for me has actually been the starter lake. So if you just go out basically from the Diamond's Peak outpost, anywhere out in this lake, spoon lures work well. I caught, my biggest one was 11 pounds. I caught it on some, I don't know if it was live bait or like cheese or something like that, but it was on a float rig. They'll hit a lot of stuff, but yeah, I find that area works good. That's weird, KC. I know Kyle had issues with him too and then finally got him, but I'm gonna give this a try. So the one issue with this Emerald Lake area, there are lake trout and they will hit on top. And you think you caught a giant, you think you have a diamond cutthroat or something, and then it's a bronze lake trout. Is he still active? Oh, yep, that's a lake trout. You hear that? When that drag starts screaming, you know you got something. So anyway, he is still active. It's going to be until, like, basically Wednesday night. The legendaries reset Wednesday night, Thursday morning, depends on your time zone. Probably like a, I don't know, 10, 12 pound lake trout. Is there a faster way to earn reputation? Doing the fish challenges on Norway and 15 permissions, very little. So I actually don't know a lot about reputation. I think you can get it by, like, see that, I'm going to try to point at it with the rod there. See that orange thing out there? Some of those things you have to report, like the trees that are dying from, is it emerald ash borers or whatever's getting them? There's different, like, plants you report. I think that earns your reputation in, like, waves. Yeah, Nate, it seems like the servers are down right now, but single player seems to be working. Fish are still biting. Is that a lake trout? Yeah, I think it is. It looks a little weird. Are you definitely a lake trout, good sir? I think I see the spots. Asa, thank you for the 28 months. Welcome back. Jesus says hi. Oh, hi. Yeah, that's a lake trout. Come here, you. I kind of like catching them on spinning tackle. I mean, bait casting is spinning too, but Much heavier tackle, much easier to catch fish like this. Mel, thank you for the double 12 as well. Welcome back. Membership alerts aren't going off today. It was a 20-pounder. I mean, we'll take that. Ready to watch some Steelers? Dude, I can't believe the season's already here. You've probably already heard me say it, but in case you or anyone else here hasn't, I'm intending to do... I've started another channel. I haven't posted any content there yet, so it doesn't show up in searches, but I'm intending to do like weekly predictions of every game, and I feel totally unprepared to make that content, but we're gonna go for it and see what happens. About to head back to college in about an hour-and-a-half drive. Hopefully you're still live. We should be live for an hour and 50 minutes still, so you should be good. I think we'll give this like 3 or 4 more casts. If we're just catching lake trout and stuff, I was hoping to get like maybe a big kokanee salmon in here. We'll look up where Goldstein's spawning and see if we can go find him. You could probably catch Goldstein on like... If you put a popper on a bait casting rig, it would be way overpowered, but that would work. Why can't I join my friend of the angler? Seems the servers at the moment are down. You can still play single player, but multiplayer is not working. That was how I tried to start this stream. I tried to be in a multiplayer server, and it just did nothing. One last cast. Where on the map? We are down here at the Emerald Lake area, basically right in the center. I almost want to take the boat all the way up, but I also want to go after Goldstein, or at least find out if we can see him. Good muskie bait. Tiger muskies? I guess they're the only muskies in the game at the moment. Honestly, the spoon. The lure we're using right now. If you want to catch really big tiger muskies, you're probably looking at size 1 or even 1/0 spoons. If you want to just catch tiger muskies, 10, 12 pounders, size 4, 3 will work just as well. There's something big chasing this. Don't know if it's a lake trout or not, but give him a chance to hit it. Why are the fish not biting? For me or for you? Just checking, like, just making sure we're talking about the same thing. Is that a lake trout? If it is, it's a very small one. No, it's a rainbow. Solid. 8-pounder. If only there were challenges to do. Okay, let me quickly look up. So, if you're interested in targeting the legendary fish, always, always, always go into the official theAngler Discord. You can find, generally someone will post when they catch it, where they catch it, what they catch it on, all that stuff. So I'm trying to find, if I can find a post of it. One thing that has definitely been the case is there are far more posts since console got the game, which I think is awesome. Alright, let me see if I can figure out, I have an image of where it is. Looking like, right about there. So, we'll go see if we can find him. I think we already have the gear to get him. I'll make sure I have the popper I want. Typically, I go with the 2/0 popper for him. You can mess with other stuff, but that seems to do the job. Got a jerkbait. He probably hit that, but I must have it in storage, so let's just turn around. Let's talk to old Buckaroo here, even though we can't hear him, which is probably for the best. What size spinner do you think I should use for silver rainbow trouts? If you just want silver, 6 will work. 5 will probably have less, like, juveniles biting. What do we want? What am I after? This. And I think we'll just use the current setup. Get that. It is... we'll take a car. The driving in this game is not great, and it's also not great to watch, so if anybody's going to get motion sickness from this, at least we're not going very far. What should I use for golden trout? So golden trout, I find they'll hit on spoons. Is that their... Yeah, that is one of the recommended ones. One of the few species I've caught diamonds of. If you want a gold... So there's actually a chart, and why don't I just reference that rather than me guessing? And I will pull that up so I have it for the rest of the stream. I know it's in here. There we go. Golden trout are where? Number 4 size. I was going to say 5. 5 would work, but you're also going to catch some smaller ones. Luke, thanks for becoming a 3-month use to you. Welcome back, I appreciate it. Don't know why those alerts don't want to go off today. That seems to be YouTube's choice for the day, whether they want to show it or not. I'd kill for third-person driving. I just frankly don't understand why they don't have it. It seems like that would be a very good idea. So the legendaries generally spawn almost exactly in the same place every time. However, there's some variance in it. I want to get out of the car and go like around this end. He's out in here somewhere typically. Just see if we can spot him. If we got to go back and get a boat, we will. I don't think it's going to be entirely necessary. We can pretty much cast halfway across. You can cast with this setup at least about 110 feet. I wouldn't be shocked if he's right in next to the shore. So let's just go for a little walk. Can you link that size chart? It's in my Discord. I wouldn't be able to link it right now because it's not a link. It's just an image that was embedded. If you're in my Discord, you can find it there in the Angler chat. If you're not on my Discord, can someone get a Discord link in the chat there? Can you give me tips? What specifically are you looking for? Are you looking for how to catch fish, how to catch bigger fish, how to level up? Are you going to go for Sidewinder? Thinking about it. I don't have a lot of time this week. I am going to Kentucky for an archery hunt in 9 days. So I got to prep a bunch of content in the lead up to that. However, Sidewinder is now the only legendary I don't have. I want to get him. So I'm probably going to give it a shot at least. Let's just cast out in this little area. If he's in here and we can't see him, I would bet he hits in one cast, so we'll just count it. See, and again, we didn't get a message that the legendary was active, so if we don't see him in 10 minutes, I'm just going to guess he's maybe not active until the servers are fixed. What are the different jig hooks for? I'm guessing the size of the bait. Yeah, basically, and so there's different soft plastics. Grub is the one that I've used the most for lake trout. There are tubes. I'm trying to think of what else there even is for soft plastic. I think there's a soft plastic worm as well. If you, for instance, let's say you buy like is it extra large, whatever the largest size of soft plastic grub is, and then you get a small jig head, it's not going to fit. So yeah, it's just down to the size of the bait you're using. I think it would affect the size of the fish that hits as well. So for instance, you know, maybe you can put a medium grub on, I don't know, a size, let's say 2 to 5 jig head. That's just a complete guess. I don't know exactly what it would be. Don't know what that was. I don't have that rigged up how I want. Hang on. Typically, if I see a thing and I don't know what it was, the first thing I do is bring a spoon through there, because half the stuff in the game will hit a spoon, if not more. Any hotspots that you recommend for Golden Ridge? So, as far as hotspots just for catching fish, it's not necessarily for catching big fish. There's a couple of little spots I like. The reason I like small little like ponds and stuff like that, and rivers as well, is if you bring your lure through those small areas, any fish that like is potentially going to be attracted to it, you should bring that lure by in range. So like, let's say for instance, if we go to the map, a couple of my favorites are these three down in here. So we have the Heritage Vista. If I zoom out, you can see kind of lower middle of the map. These three little lakes full of golden trout, ornate trout, some cutthroats, rainbows are in there. Those are really good spots. And then really like almost any of these rivers, you can catch bass, trout, smallies in particular. And then pike. I really want to know what that is, but anyway, pike are all around down here. Good number in this area. And then this starting lake. Almost every species of fish on Golden Ridge Reserve is in the main lake. I love it when it tells me to catch something and I don't get it for a long time. I mean, we just did it. It was not the last video, the video before where we caught Big Larry. We needed, what the heck was it? Bronze rainbow in a particular area, and we could not get one. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes you catch them on the first cast. Alright, let's just throw this out here a couple times. Again, if we don't see him, I'm gonna guess he's just not around. We'll give it a try when the servers go back up, if and when they do. First stream but long time watcher, you made me spend 45 bucks on this game yesterday on the PS5. Other than exiting and opening the game back up, is there a way to change the times? No. So I've talked to JaxyBeard about this because it's something that I really wish they would add. In order to like have the legendaries, you know, rotate every week and change locations and all that without requiring a game update, they basically do live servers. The time is connected to those servers, and that's kind of why they can't, you know, let you change the time. So what you can do is like switch between single player and multiplayer. Every now and then, like in the video yesterday, I was over on Norway. Every server I joined, middle of the night, just the way that it goes sometimes. And the best thing to do, if you have that situation, just try to make the most of it. There are nocturnal fish species, walleye, sauger on this map at least. What's the other one I'm missing? Shovel-nosed sturgeon are nocturnal too. Generally, it's just good to go after them and, you know, get some experience trying to catch those things. I don't know. I feel like he's in here. I'm gonna get a boat, just in case, and then we won't get too crazy chasing him forever. What's up, Danny? Caught a gold smallmouth while fishing for a bronze and a counter for the mission? Yeah, I think it's bronze or better, basically. Need a silver burbot? Those are nocturnal as well, so you're gonna have to fish at night for them. Hope we eventually get a normal-sized sturgeon. Would that not be amazing? There's so much, like, I really feel like this game's moving in a great direction. I feel like they've made a lot of improvements. The initial, like, things they kind of promised on, I remember conditions being a thing. I swear that doesn't matter at all, other than day or night. However, things like experienced anglers maybe having a leg up. If you know two things about fishing, you probably know, like, pike, salmon, trout, spoon lures, things like that work really well, and that does translate into the game. Those sorts of things I find are better. Also, maybe this is pretty obvious, but smaller lures are going to be better for smaller fish, but you can catch big fish. Bigger lures are never going to catch small fish for the most part. Those sorts of things they're finally starting to bring into the game, but there's so much still. Like you said, the sturgeon. Fly fishing would be amazing in this game. If they had, like, a proper surface strike animation, I'd love it. They've made big strides, but they have so much room to grow. Like, it really could be amazing. Let's just park this fella right here. And what we'll even do is, rather than just blind casting for Goldstein, we'll just, like, throw a spoon out a couple times. Maybe we can catch something else. And if we see Goldstein surface, then we know what to do. I like to do this for a lot of legendaries that can be spotted from the surface. Just spend little time basically sitting still. And if he surfaces, you generally see him. My wife at level 2 spent 11 minutes pulling in a smallmouth yesterday. I was amazed. A Walmart Chow Zebco could have done better than the starting rod. Yeah, I think they, like, made the difficulty of catching smaller fish on lighter tackle maybe a little bit too much. But I'd rather that than the opposite. Like, if it's too easy to pull fish in on light tackle, then when you get the better stuff, there's not going to be much fight involved in general. Like, if I catch, right now, if we hooked into a 5-pound smallmouth, we could just pull it right in. What's going on, K-Flow? They need new dialogue? Yeah, I turned all the dialogue off. Not a fan, personally. Nobody in here wants to bite? If we're going to go target big males in the river, I will not hesitate. I just wanted to catch the legendary if he was around. On console, disable crossplay and you'll get a server. Oh, really? I might have to try that here on PC then. Oh, something's coming out of there. Little baby pike or tiger muskie, I think. Just bring that fella right in. I figured there had to be pike around here. You're a 5-pound smallmouth? Thank you. Are you saying I'm a real catch? Carp would be awesome. Carp could be really cool, yeah. Just one last spinaroo. I don't know what that was. No Goldstein, though. They have confirmed that future reserves are coming. If it's anything like the Hunter Call of the Wild, they'll probably release a new map like a European carp fishing one with carp fishing gear and an update. I would say you're probably right. Like, they may rotate North America, Europe, North America, I don't know, South America, stuff like that. I just randomly thought of, what's that, Arapaima, is it? They're way bigger than anything in this game. Well, Sidewinder's 100 pounds. But still, that could be pretty neat. There's so much they can do. Anyway, let's try that crossplay idea. I've noticed you can catch a lot of sturgeons at night on the small bass spinners. Yeah, since they're nocturnal fish, they only do hit at night. However, I do find they're more aggressive than I thought they would be. They do hit the spinners pretty good. Does the angler require internet? I don't know if it requires it, but it is all, like, live servers. Speaking of live servers, I don't think that worked. Alright. Let's go. I want to fish a river. I really enjoy the river fishing in this game. Let's go to this one. Since we can fast travel right to it. What's up, Theo? Airpime would be so cool. Imagine even walking around a map in the Amazon. And I am no expert on fishing in the Amazon, but there's so much you could put in there. Like, you really could make it amazing. Let's put like a pretty big spinner on this. Or spoon, rather. And then the main thing we're going to use... I want to use something different, but I swear I always default to the spoons because they just do the best. We'll start with that and then go. What's the legendary this week? Okay, so the one on Golden Ridge Reserve is Goldstein. That's the largemouth bass. I happen to have his location marked on the map. Literally right down here. Now the thing is, seems the servers are down at the moment. I was told that the legendaries are still spawning, even though it doesn't tell you that the legendaries are active. I went over there, didn't see them. I'm not going to spend too much time when I'm not certain he's spawning there. And then, what's the one in Norway? I just caught it. Paul the Dominator. I don't know how to pronounce that first word. It's like Calais or something. Just spent 30 minutes trying to catch a sauger. Were you fishing in the daylight, perchance? Do you know how to get the challenges to work? I think that's due to like server overload or something like that. That's my guess. They seem to not be updating properly. And in the year that the game was out on PC prior, anytime I messed with the challenges, they worked fine. So I think it's just like not having what do I want? The resources for the amount of people that are playing the game right now. What are you? Pretty nice bass, I think. I do have a solution to that. See if he comes and gets it. Pronounced like cowl? Cow? Am I saying that right? Cowl? Call? If it rhymes, that's pretty easy. Is this game cross-platform, Xbox to PC? It is. Yep. Just what I wanted. Did you turn on multiplayer in your settings? I actually turned it off because it seems like the cross-platform servers are weird. Look at that bass flying over to get that. Will they make a new casting setting? I just can't use left click with my slow... Where did that go? Sensitivity? I'm thinking they probably will... Isn't there like a... accessibility setting? Where you don't have to like push the mouse forward? I think you can just click to cast basically. I'm almost sure that setting exists. What's up, Darth? Huge. So do we have like a size 4? I think I do. Must have left it back on. Yep, this will work for now. Is the default...
It's a bottle of water.
Twitch sounds. Is the default time when you log in always noon? Shouldn't be. For me, it basically goes off of what I last... Oh, God. Why? I hate that it works this way. Twitch sound should never play on YouTube. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, like whatever the last time I played at, it seems to just go off that. So like if we ended this stream right now, it's 1500 in game, and then I ended the game and started up again, I believe it would just be 1500.
Well, you look like a pissant.
Thank you, Paul. How do I equip a new reel? Well, why don't we jump back and take a peek at that, because this is not actually a river that I wanted. It seems like a more smally kind of river, which is fine. Does everyone's game reset to 12 when you join in? Mine doesn't do that. That's so interesting. I wish it did. I'd kind of prefer that. Alright, so when you buy a new reel, obviously you're going to go into your equipment.
Those are some nice tracks. Want to follow them?
I do want to follow them. You can purchase the different reels based on like however many credits you have. Once you've done that, go to your storage, click on reels. You'll have, you can carry a max of 3 reels at any given time. Well, 3 spinning reels, and you can also carry 2 bait casting reels. So, if you've already got 3, it'll appear in your storage. If you don't already have 3, it should just appear in your backpack automatically. So, you'll go under rods in the menu. You can click on whatever rod you want to put it on, and then obviously, you know, you go through. Might play this game on Game Pass before purchasing for PS5. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Where do I want to go? I know there's a good river for trout, but I haven't messed with it. Is it here, maybe? Mine sometimes just resets at 3 a.m. for no reason. Mine only does that when I gotta record.
Okay, but what if you died?
What if I died? The place that we caught Goldstein, by the way, which he is not here now, do not mistake what I'm about to say. The place that we caught Goldstein, the one time that we've caught him so far, is that bridge right there. Think I found one click in accessibility? Awesome.
Skill issue.
Skill issue indeed. How do I use the sync presentation lures? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the spoon is a sync presentation. Really all that means is that when you cast it, and if you don't reel, it's going to sync. You don't need to allow it to sync. Maybe, I'd like to do some lake trout fishing a little bit later, so maybe I can show you. If you go to some of these lakes, it's 300, 350 feet deep in certain areas. It's not a bad move to let that lure drop all the way to the bottom before you start to retrieve. The problem with that is, that takes forever. So what you can do down to maybe like 100 feet or so, is actually use a crankbait, because that's going to dive down as you retrieve. But I don't think the sync presentation has anything to do with like what you actually need to do to succeed. Otherwise, these spoon lures would never work. First week of school and I already got COVID. Perfect. I'm sure that's exactly what you wanted. Is not possible for you to catch Sidewinder? It is very difficult to catch Sidewinder. He is extremely tough to get. If I'm not mistaken, he may be the only legendary that's not ever visible from the surface. I see a bass right down there. Might like that a little better. What fish gives the best experience? It comes down to... It's basically down to score, but the way that score is determined is essentially by the weight. So I guess in theory, lake trout or Atlantic salmon would give the best XP. We can go and do some lake trout fishing here fairly soon. It's a lot of fun, but it's tedious. How do I change to pounds? I think if you go to options, should be under... What is it under? Accessibility? Yeah. Unit system all the way to the bottom. Imperial will get pounds, yards, feet. All that. Where are you? I'm in my room. Just like at this bridge here, at like sort of the northwest end of the main lake. I want to go up this river. I'm sure there's things other than bass in there. Was he going to get that without us even... I swear I just saw a fish there. And we weren't even retrieving? I'm like 99% sure there was one sitting right at the lure. Nothing now. Anyway. Can you try to catch Sidewinder if you go lake trout fishing if he is in rotation? He is not at the moment, it's Goldstein. Sidewinder will be next week, so... Well, actually, end of this week. Starting Thursday, he'll be active. The problem with Sidewinder is... Generally, I mean, if you're really dedicated to the angler and played a lot, maybe you would be the one to find him. But typically, you almost have to wait for someone else to find him. Now, you don't want to always just, like, rely on someone else. Go out and look for him for sure. However, when it comes to Sidewinder, I typically wait and see, like, where are people catching him? And then I'll maybe go and try that spot. I still haven't caught him yet. I've tried a couple times, spent some hours in it, never gotten a bite. I'm on PC, and whenever I start the angler, it's just a black screen? Like every single time, or is this just a recent thing? How do I catch a diamond largemouth? What just jumped out of there? It's a big something. This isn't a terrible sized fish either. So there are like objectives or challenges to catch diamond largemouth, and if you do those, they basically spawn one for you. If you specifically want to catch like a non-mission diamond largemouth, probably you'd want like a size 3 frog, which we're using a size 6 right now just to catch whatever will bite. I was gonna try to target bigger fish if we could catch a legendary today, but I keep going to the wrong rod. Legendary is not wanting to cooperate, so we're just chilling at the moment. Where is Goldstein this week? Let me bring in this cast, and I shall show you. I just happen to have it marked at the moment. The servers are being a little wonky right now. I don't know if the legendaries are spawning due to that server issue at the moment. Whenever that's resolved, I'm certain the legendaries will be back. They may be spawning right now. Someone in the chat said they were for them, but I didn't see them. I didn't want to spend too much time on it. Right down here at this waypoint. So you've got like the main lake. This is the Diamond's Peak outpost. There's like one main big island, and then a second one right in between them. Alright, let's keep on moving up. What size hook do you think I should use for lake trout? If you want really big lake trout, like diamond lake trout, I'd say like 2/0 anyway. Maybe 3 or 4/0. If you want any lake trout, you could start with like a size 3 or 4 and you'll catch, you know, bronzes and stuff. Do you think they'll add ice fishing? Maybe. Legendary should be up whenever I join my game. It said it started the legendary. Just like a minute ago. We can fire up the game again and see if that works. What did I miss? Nothing crazy so far. We went and tried to catch Goldstein, the legendary largemouth bass. He may be spawning, I'm not sure, but I didn't see him. And with the uncertainty due to the servers, what is that, a pike? Have to bring the drag way up. Not exactly the rod I'd like to hook into this with. I saw it was like a long, slender fish. Is the game good? I personally think it is. One disclaimer though, I don't typically play fishing games. As I understand it, this probably still isn't the most in-depth fishing game on the market, but it's definitely getting considerably better. Like, it's made major progress in the last year. Excellent Eater, thank you for the super chat. Where are you hunting this year? Do we get vlogs? There are going to be real-life hunting videos. In fact, I'm working on one of the last ones from 2022. I still haven't gotten that out. But, going to Kentucky here in, like, 10 days, something like that. That'll be whitetail archery. Going to West Virginia sometime in October. We haven't nailed down exactly what week that's going to be. That'll be, obviously, whitetail archery. Back home here in PA for potentially muzzleloader season. There's a chance we miss muzzleloader for the West Virginia hunt. We'll see. And then the plan is to go to Indiana for their rifle season, at least the opener. That should be pretty fun. They all should be fun, to be fair, but Indiana's one I haven't done yet. Caught Goldstein 14 hours ago using a number 3 popper on 22-pound line. A number 3 popper, really? I didn't know he'd hit one that small. Western Kentucky? I think Eastern. Well, it might be Western. I don't even remember what the area is. Does line size / type matter in terms of fish vision? I haven't experienced a situation in which it seems to matter. In theory, it should. I just haven't seen it yet. If it doesn't matter now, I think it will eventually, and it may already. For the most part, I use fluorocarbon everything, unless I'm catching, like, going for a really big fish. For instance, Big Larry, the legendary catfish we caught last week, I used braid for that because he's 60-something pounds. Eastern, there you go. Is there trophy lodges in the angler? There are not, and that's probably the biggest weak point of the game at the moment. They did a stream before the game even came out. That was a very common question they got. We asked them, you know, all kinds of stuff about lodges and ways to, like, display or, you know, keep track of our trophy fish. And they wanted to be, you know, they were really big on, like, catch and release, stuff like that. I still think they could do replicas or something and make it very clear they're meant to be replicas. But at the moment, yeah, there's nothing other than, like, your screenshots. So when you catch a big fish, be sure to take a screenshot. Do you know where to fish for bluegill? I know a couple areas you can catch bluegill. Can show you those in one moment. Come here, you. I don't think this is even a big pike. That's the worst part. I'm pretty sure it's a silver. This is 27-pound line. Like, he's making it tough, but we don't have our best reel. So, like, if we had the good reel, if we had the good rod, and the better drag, I think we could essentially just pull him right in. He could be bigger than I think, but the amount the tension went up, or didn't go up, I just don't see this being huge. What's up, Tux? Coastboard, think of the super chat. What town in Kentucky? That's where I was born. Without giving, well, I will ask Will, how big is that area? Because I don't want to just give away our exact whereabouts. But if it's big enough, then I'll tell you where it's going to be at. Ready for bow season? I'm pretty close, man. I am pretty close. Oh, that ain't bad. Better than I thought. I've got my broadheads tuned up pretty much where I'm happy with them. I think I'm going to mess with them a little bit more. Come on. We almost had it. And then I'm really getting comfortable with my saddle. Tree stands are in a pretty good position right now. I've got most of my stuff set up. Just got to get going. Not bad. Still a silver, but can live with that. Like to catch and release into hot oil. Makes them taste better. Any idea what the line just breaks right at the end sometimes? Right at the end, meaning like right as you retrieve the fish, like you have it basically at your feet.
You look like a pissant.
Thanks, Paul. My best guess for you would be probably what's happening is maybe you're fishing up against a rock or something like this. So as you bring it in, I'll just kind of speed retrieve this. You're probably hitting the line up against a rock, and that will break it. Used to be the case that you could break your line off on the side of the boat. They changed that. It's no longer possible, but I kind of liked that aspect of realism. What lure? For the pike, I was using a size 6 frog. I was mostly fishing for bass. I didn't even know there were pike in this river. Just swapped to a size 3 spoon, because now that I know pike are in here, might as well see if we can pull another one out. My question is, does line size matter, say catching a bluegill? I have not... Oh, speaking of bluegill, I was supposed to show those spots. I have not seen line size ever make a difference. I've caught, you know, half-pound fish on 20-pound line. Obviously, bigger line size makes a difference when it comes to reeling in a fish, but having too big a line, I don't think that's a mechanic at least yet. ZW Golf, thank you for the super chat. What's up? We are just trying to catch some fish and apparently not getting the legendary today because he doesn't want to show up. So bluegill spots. There's a little tiny pond right here. You can see under the fishing area tab, there are bluegill in this. It's like kind of north of the, what is that, JaxyBeard? I had it. There we go, yeah, JaxyBeard. That spot, and then honestly, like right in this bigger area of water, if you fast travel to it, there's bluegill in there too. Keep on moving. I still want to find a trout river. I was so sure this was one. What about here? Is the game a worthy purchase yet compared to Fishing Planet? I have not played Fishing Planet, so I'm probably not the best person to answer that question. What size frog is good for Goldstein? Someone was saying you can catch them on size 2 to 7. So I guess anything in there would work. I would use like a 1/0. Because odds are, if you use one that big, Goldstein's the only fish that's going to hit it, so you're not going to have, you know, maybe big gold. I guess not a bad thing to catch a diamond bass by accident. Does buying stuff that requires green stars use up the stars? I don't think so. Can anyone confirm that? I've never actually bought something that uses up the stars, or that requires them. One of my absolute favorite things to do in this game is go swimming. Try it again. There we go. Cast right into the waterfalls. What are some good locations for largemouth bass? They're pretty all over the place. Where we just were had them. The main lake has them. I want to say, we'll bring this in and I'll show you on the map. I want to say, is it northwest? Might have them too. Nothing. I rarely cast into a waterfall and don't get a bite. Nothing there. Okay. So where we just came from was, I actually forget. Where were we? Here, I think. This river has largemouth. Obviously, the main lake has them. I want to say there's a good few like in these lakes too. I could be incorrect about that. I heard a fish. I'm so conditioned, Danny, to say waterfowl when I start to say, like, water anything. It happens so often. Do the find the rod challenge? Where do I activate that? I can do that. What's up, Colin? Does this implement a system where you can keep track of particular fish, or is it RNG on what fish hit, kind of like a gambling system? If I understand what you're asking correctly, you can target particular fish. So let's say I wanted to catch, like a big lake trout. To keep things like maybe kokanee salmon. I'm trying to think of things that are in the same water as lake trout. It used to be golden trout. I think they moved them. But to keep some of the smaller fish from biting, you could choose a lure that they're maybe not interested in, and a size of lure that a fish of that weight class just isn't going to hit. Let's try this one. On the DLC map is a 77 stripes rod. Is that like a rod you get to keep? That sounds cool. I think there's something going on with the weights of some fish. It says I have 3 diamonds, but I only have 2. Oh. That is kind of weird. .77 strength rod, okay. That is pretty good. Never caught a legendary. I don't know if they're spawning at the moment. There's some server issues kind of going on. But Goldstein, who is the legendary largemouth bass that spawns here on Golden Ridge Reserve, that is a really good first one to go after. Epics, thank you for the super chat, by the way. You are definitely one of the best creators on the app. You've gained so many subs. I can't read the rest of that. Scroll off my chat. Due to you being so genuine in your content, keep up the great work. I will definitely do my best, man. I really appreciate that. You get a diamond medal for completing the tutorial. Ah. Nice. There's that alert, by the way. I wanted to read it because I could see it was flying off the screen, and it still got away before I could read the entire thing. I am so tempted to go to Norway and catch brown trout. These guys are just not cooperating today. I think, Cameron, what they were just talking about, you get one of those diamond tokens when you do the tutorial, which I don't know if I've done the tutorial or not, but it sure didn't work that way when I did it. Truly is an S-tier content creator. I was trying to come up with a meme there where S could stay in for something, but I only got big male, and it's not in there. What about... Let's throw the old size 5 out and see if we get anything. Gonna try to catch Goldstein on 6-pound line. I will tell you, I once attempted something like that, and I spent an hour fighting him. I can't remember if he broke it off. Something happened. Either way, I definitely did not catch him. I really wish I could tell what kind of fish were in here. If we could just see one jump, I'd know what to use. What else do we have? Crankbaits work for orid trout. And we could try it. Coach, thank you for the super chat again. Are you hunting anywhere close to Perry County? Let me get the rest of that scrolling off my screen. If so, good luck. There's some big ones up there. Can't wait for this to download on my console. I'm going to have to... Look, that sounds like a big fish, but I don't see it. Okay, new plan. I'm going to look up where Perry County is. In the meantime, I am going to... double up. And just kind of throw this out somewhere in the area of where I swear I heard that splash. I just saw the thing. A little further out. Is it going to hit this? Not necessarily. Oh, what is that? At the very least, I wanted that to go further. Try not to cast too far. And I cannot. I thought I'd be able to see what it was when zooming in. That is hard to look at, so I'm just going to stay over here. Let's see if I can figure this out. Is there a different legendary every week? Well, there are essentially like 3 legendaries per map at the moment. and they're on a rotation. So this week it's Goldstein on Golden Ridge Reserve, he's the largemouth bass, and Paul the Dominator over on Norway, that's a pike. Thursday, they will change. I think it's going to be Sidewinder on Golden Ridge Reserve. And I don't even know which one shows up on Norway. However, the location of where they are will change. You, sir, are a fish. I'm trying to see where Perry County's at. I don't even see it. Oh, God. I was looking at my phone. Hello, what are you? Gotta navigate you around. Yep. Navigate you around the rocks just like that. I will catch you. I think when you break them off, they stay in there. What takes... I'm trying to think. There's a couple of fish in the game that take the bait and don't, like, you know, kind of play with it a little bit first. There we go. If it's not the same fish, it's the same species. What the heck is that? Oh, what the heck? We're catching walleye in here. Let's go. During the day, we'll do that. I'll catch walleye out of here all day. I don't care. Just type in Hazard, Kentucky. Gotcha. Do you think the devs will make online competitions on console? Maybe. I think that could be cool. It's the worst acid. Hazard's down south. See? That's why Will's here. He knows. We're not going to be terribly far from that area, but I also wouldn't say we're going to be close to that area. Think they'll add sinkers. It would be nice if they would add, like, you know, different types of equipment like that that can let you really customize your experience. That is one thing I do kind of dislike about float fishing. The lowest you can drop this is about 5 feet. There are areas I'd love to fish like the bottom that's just not a possibility, or even bait fishing without a float. Anything big? I think the biggest fish we've caught so far is like a 12-pound pike. We were going after Goldstein. He didn't seem to want to hit. But we just had a walleye bite up here, and it's really not time for walleyes to hit yet, so we're going to see if we can catch another one. This is a good little spot here. Nice slow-moving water. You can't enter either reserve, so I didn't have the issue of... Ooh, that's pulling line. It might just be a pike again. Hard to say, but I think we'd have caught pike on like the spoons and stuff. This could be like a huge walleye. I have no idea. Apex servers are back up. Okay, interesting. But yeah, I was able to enter the reserve just fine. I'm just having multiplayer not work. Ender says Angler servers are fixed. I'm trying to reel, by the way. Just whatever this is not letting it happen. We gotta be careful. You see that rock on our right? I'm going to be pulling him to the left pretty much the entire time to try to get him around that. Either a pike or a massive walleye. I mean, we did just see... So walleye get up to at least 15 pounds. We did just see a 12-pound pike give us some trouble with this rod. It's not giving tension like that, but it's really not acting like a pike does. For one, it's trying to get down to the bottom. I mean, I guess this could be a catfish. That'd be the last thing I'd expect right now. Just got a gold pike and an 11-pound setup. Not bad, dude. That takes forever. I remember my first gold pike. It was something like a 27-minute fight on 13-pound test. Very long fight. What's your rig? I'll show you the exact equipment here in a second. Looks like we kind of got him tuckered out here, so slowly pulling him in. He is still diving down right to the bottom, though. What are you? And don't tell me a fish. If we try to lift him up. I'm gonna be sad if this is a catfish. Is it 30 feet? Oh. I saw his outline. It didn't look like a cat. Maybe it is. Yep. Decent little fella anyway. Okay. Setup we're running right now, at least for the float fishing. We have the Eisvogel rod, Belta reel, which this is kind of just a cheaper reel that I had. 27-pound fluorocarbon. We've got the glowing float, which is, I just have that because if I'm fishing at night, then it still works. No problems with it during the day. Size 7 hook and minnows. The reason I went with the smaller hook is I was thinking we might be able to catch, like, just what I wanted. Well, we're going this way now. I was thinking we might be able to catch, who knows, like, maybe perch in here, some of the smaller fish. I'm thinking, if there's walleye and stuff. Okay. I was going to change rods. Let's not do that. Let's change... Size 1 hook's pretty big. That's going to keep a lot of things from biting. But if we do get a bite, it's probably a good fish. See, that was a little... I think a little panfish. Let's just see if we pull anything big out of here. We'll let that sit for a minute. I'm not going to zoom in. I like it better when I can see. The minimum hook size for Paul. The minimum... I'm guessing... I don't know what the minimum is truly, but my guess is... Oh, wait. I think there's a... Hang on. Looks like 5 according to the chart. I didn't realize that was listed on there. How do you catch a diamond muskie? Do we have that on here? Looks like... Probably a 1/0 spoon or... What else do they hit? Spinnerbait? I kind of want to go try that. You guys want to see if we can catch a huge muskie? I want to do that. What I'm first going to do is catch that stupid little bluegill, though. Where should I go for kokanee? Give me 1 sec, because this guy's on his way in. That might be a sunfish. I thought it looked like a bluegill to me, though. Take your time. We're all waiting on you. Whenever you're ready. Just waiting. This is the longest I've ever had a fish do this. There you go. Took 12 years. I'm seeing bluegill colors. Huge. Alright, let's go see if we can catch a muskie. Can you give me some tips and tricks? Are you really bottom? Well, that's exciting. So what kind of tips and tricks are you looking for? Are you looking for how to catch fish, how to catch big fish? Like what specific kind of stuff are we after? So let's sort of maximize our usefulness here. Where's walleye on this list? Okay, walleye are going to be a little bit smaller than what I want, but we'll go with this. What was the swim bait thing? Oh, I caught a diamond muskie with a size 1 swim bait. I was going to go size 1 spinnerbait. Should also work. I don't find a lot of stuff goes after the swim baits. Although really, we shouldn't have much go after this either. Let's go with it and see what happens. Good chance we simply don't catch anything on this, but if we do get a bite, we know it should be a big male. And honestly, the thing I like about this, we could take a boat, go out in the middle of this, and probably, if we're not catching a ton of stuff, we can move around pretty quickly and still be in good areas. The one thing that, this is another
skill issue,
maybe cool thing they could do. What if they added like rod holders to the front of your boats and you could like have a rig baited up with some kind of live bait and also lure fish? It's fair enough, bottom boy, fair enough. Is Norway a good map? It's a really good map. Bigger fish than Golden Ridge Reserve on average. There are Atlantic salmon over there. Those get massive. There are brown trout that get really big. The northern pike on Norway are bigger than the northern pike on Golden Ridge Reserve. I'm trying to think of the other species over there off the top of my head. And struggling. Xander get pretty good size. There's one other one I'm missing that's pretty big. Trolling for pike? I would love if there was trolling in this game too. I'm gonna say, let's get in like almost towards that dock. Where do you think the next reserve will be located? Good question. Hopefully somewhere with saltwater fishing. Euro perch, I think that's true. Does Goldstein hit at night? He should. I don't think the time matters for the legendaries. Alright, got quite a few lures to scroll through here. So, let me make sure I have this done right too, because if we get a bite from a diamond and then don't pull him in. 38-pound line, that ought to work. So keep in mind, we are not likely to get too many bites, if any bites on this. But if we get one, it should be a nice fish. So when does the flu ball content come out? I'm hoping either Wednesday night or Thursday morning to do the first, like, picks. I think it's more likely to be Wednesday night, but we'll see. Florida would be a cool mix of freshwater and sea. It would, yeah. I think that could work. What's this map? Started downloading the game now and just curious and getting all the info I can. No worries. This is Golden Ridge Reserve. This is the, like, I think it's basically the starter map. It is the base game map. I can put it that way. What speed do you use for the spoon? Almost always speed 3. I find that most fish, like pike and muskie, are pretty fast. I think they would probably hit on like a 4 or a 5. But if you're after some of the trout species, like some stuff that's a little slower, 3 typically will work. What size spoon should I use for a golden trout? I shall refer to the chart. I think 4. I can't read it. Size 5 spoons best for golden? For gold rank golden or just in general? Because I find like with the size 5 I catch a lot of silvers. That's the thing about it. You can catch golds on a size 5 and you're going to catch way more fish doing it that way. You'll have some of those smaller ones hit. How do you find what fish are in what body of water? Generally speaking, when you discover a new body of water, you get this little icon on your map right here. If you mouse over it or put your cursor over it, it tells you all the fish that are in the area. I don't know if it says, like, I don't know if there's an icon for this main lake. Most of these small ones, though, tells you exactly what's in there. Any of these little spots, you can see what's in that body of water. But like I said, I haven't had any of the big lakes actually show me. 4 and 3 for golden trout, and size 2 for diamonds. See, this is where, like, I'm still learning some of these new things with the game as far as the actual size of the lure mattering. I caught my diamond goldens probably on a size 5. The easiest diamond to find and catch? I mean, outside of mission diamonds? It used to be golden trout. I don't think it is anymore. I'm not sure if there is an easy one. Does anyone feel like there's a particularly easy one, or is it just down to persistence with the right size lure? That's not good, Alfred. Oh, people were saying the servers are back up. See, I kind of don't mind staying here. We still have an hour of the stream yet. And one thing that I like is the potential for basically being able to try to fish for walleye and stuff here, like actively targeting walleye. Going after Goldstein on a size 5. Popper, do you think I should stay or go up a size? Are you getting a bunch of hits from other bass and stuff? If you're having that problem, I'd go up several sizes he'll hit. Like, I think he hits about as big as it gets. I use a size 2-aught, and for me, that tends to work pretty well. This is my view all weekend. It's a pretty good view, not gonna lie. I think it's persistence with the right lure size. My only 2 diamonds are largemouth. Yeah, I feel like there's a degree of luck, I guess, because the reality of the situation is, if we're here targeting a... Ooh, that's a big pike. I guess not big enough to come up and hit this spinner. Anyway, if we're here targeting a diamond pike, we can cast as many times as we want. If there's not a diamond pike laying in here, we're simply not going to catch one. Easiest way to level up. It's probably... It depends on the amount of equipment you have and the quality of equipment you have. I say that because when you get a setup that can pretty easily pull in lake trout, that can be really good. In the meantime, like I would basically try to catch the biggest fish that you can pull in without too much of a struggle. So maybe that starts with, you know, large and smallmouth bass. Maybe you get up to where you can pretty consistently land like 10-pound pike and muskie. It comes down to the weight of the fish that you're catching. That's basically like how you get your XP. So, you know, if it's a 30-minute fight to land a 40-minute fish, like that's a lot of XP, but you also could have caught maybe 25 10-pound fish that would have, the cumulative XP would have been more. You see what I'm saying? So it comes down to the equipment you actually have. Can I have some tips on catching lake trout? Example, what bait to use on level 20. Okay. What is that? If that is not a diamond, it's a really nice gold. It looked huge to me. Let me bring this right by him. Okay, so lake trout hit on a bunch of stuff. I've had success with crankbaits. I've had success with like jigging with like the soft plastic grub. They hit spoons. Pretty much anything you throw at them, they'll hit. And again, you know, like anything else, the size of the fish you catch is at least largely dependent on the size of the hook or lure you use. Let me throw this size 2 spoon past that. I want to know what that is. I feel fairly confident he should hit this. Can I play with you on the angler? The servers seem to be a little bit weird right now. I'm in single player because of that. I don't know whether to try to go back to multiplayer or not. I've been told the servers are working, but I like the time of this particular, like, server map that we're on right now. I don't see that fish. They hit spoons pretty consistently, so I feel like that'll work. A size 2 shouldn't be too big. Do you have to be a multiplayer to catch legendary fish? You do not. I do think you have to be, like, in a server, though, even if that server is, like, a single-player session. I'm not sure, but, like, the server seemed to be messed up when I started up the game here. I didn't get the message on the left, like, Golden Ridge Reserve legendary fish active, and apparently, like, all the Apex servers are kind of screwed up at the moment. So that part of it still needs to happen, but you can do it in single-player for sure. A lot of these pike hate me. There was another big one out there. Alright, new plan. We're gonna scoot a little closer to that island. Is multiplayer on consoles? It is, yes. Do I have that size 3 spinnerbait? Got the 8. Got the 7. Nope. Just give this a couple of tries. What are you playing on PC? How do you see fish under the water more clearly? When I watch your vids, you see some random fish that I can't see. I'm not sure there's any like setting or anything you can do for that. One thing is, like with this newest update, the evolution update that they call it, the one that added like all the new fish species, it kind of did a thing to the reflections where a lot of times you can only see half the fish, so you kind of got to get used to like what you're looking for. But yeah, there's not a particular thing to make that better. Alright, listen. Whatever pike is in here is required to bite, whether he likes it or not. What was overall more difficult to catch, Big Larry or Goldstein? Big Larry was harder to land, but I found him more easily. The second time, the first time, like, if you remember that video, I went from multiplayer to single player. There were so many people in multiplayer. I was afraid it might be messing with the spawns. When I went to single player, I found him like 10 minutes or less. Goldstein took a lot longer to find, but he was way easier to catch. When is the next legendary fish cycle? So pretty much, I don't know exactly, like, down to the minute. There's a good one coming over. But the way that it works is, at least Eastern time, my time zone, late Wednesday night, somewhere in there, is when the legendaries change. So, let's say, well, I do the classic streams Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Sometime around the time I stream, the legendaries change. Do boats spook fish? Yes and no. So fish kind of only spawn when you start like casting and stuff. They'll spawn like around you. So you almost can't spook fish as you're driving along because there's nothing there. Once you stop, like let's say, you know, this pike out here. If he was just sitting right down to like where he's at right now at the end of our line, and then we started driving again, that would then spook him. But as we drove over here, he probably didn't even exist. He probably hadn't spawned yet. Does this game have a trophy lodge? Unfortunately, no. They were very big on like catch and release kind of stuff, which I totally support. Like I absolutely get what they're going for there. But I feel like they could do replicas or something and allow us to kind of still have a trophy lodge. Pretty much the same size as the other one we got. I mean, it's not bad, but there are far bigger ones out here. Can you change the time? You cannot change the time. The game basically relies on like live servers. I don't know if that's just waves hitting the boat. It might be. But anyway, because of that, the time is like tied to the actual server. Therefore, you're stuck with whatever time it is, which can be annoying. You know, it's getting close to nighttime here. When it gets to probably 1800, which is fairly soon, we'll probably just try to make the most of it and do some walleye fishing. Just kind of the way it goes. Is the angler multiplayer? Yes. What popper size do you recommend for Goldstein? I caught him on a 2/0. The reason I go that big is that, you know, maybe a gold largemouth that's sitting there or a gold pike probably isn't going to hit a 2/0 popper, so the only thing that should get it is Goldstein. How do you switch from single player to multiplayer? Basically, I forgot to change lures, so let me do that first. You go into your options here, click on multiplayer, very top option. You can switch between on and off, simple as that. Cross-platform as well, so I'm going to turn that back on, only because we turned it off to try to see if that would help the servers work, and it did not. Are there still pike in this? Looks like not anymore. There used to be. You know where else there's a bunch of good-sized pike? Where's that dam? It is right here. This is not a bad spot either. I'm at Crossplay, not multiplayer. Well, it does have Crossplay as well. I've gone too far. Oh, is this the wrong side? Yep. Do you play on Xbox? I play on PC. Are you playing Norway this stream? We might still. We'll see. Might jump on over there. I kind of want to go for Walleye here in a little bit when it gets dark, but plans can change. See what happens. Are the online servers done for the angler? Oh, down? I think so. Someone said it seemed like they might have been back up, but I tried it a couple of times and it just didn't want to work, so we're chilling in single player. Where's Big Larry on Xbox this week? So only one legendary per map spawns per week. This week it is Goldstein, the largemouth bass. He is spawning right there. So you've got your Diamond's Peak outpost. This is the outpost you start at. There's like one big island to the northwest of that, and then a second island. It's right in between the two. Pretty sure there's tiger, muskie, and pike in here. Do you think I could get Goldstein with the best? Where did that go? That disappeared from my chat. Best way to level up? I was talking about it earlier. It's tough to really give a best way to level up because it totally depends on the equipment you have. Basically, the best way to level up, equipment dependent, is catching the biggest fish you can catch reliably and quickly. So what I mean by that, if you have equipment that can you know, you can land a 10-pound fish, but it takes you maybe like 5-10 minutes to reel it in. You're probably better off going for like some 5-6-pound fish that you can reel in basically immediately, because you're going to catch more in that amount of time that would take you to reel in one fish. You gain XP pretty much dependent on the weight of the fish that you catch. So if you can catch 5 5-pounders or 1 10-pounder in a 10-minute span, obviously you want to catch the 5 5-pounders. What fish are nocturnal? Let's see if we can nab this guy, because he doesn't look half bad. The ones I know offhand are sauger, walleye, shovel-nosed sturgeon, and why do I always forget the other one? I think there's 4 or 5 on golden. Oh, burbot. I'll look at the thing, but I will show you how to like identify which are nocturnal. This will be interesting because we're so high up. I think we can get them. It's just a matter of kind of dragging him over here. Oh, had it. Just like that. Catfish, yes, thank you. Those two. Let's go to the things. So the way that you do it, you go to the handbook. You can click on each individual species, and then you see this icon right here. You got like the sun, largemouth bass, or daytime active. Got largemouth, or sorry, smallmouth, daytime, bluegill, daytime. Burbot, you see the moon? They're nocturnal. And you got black crappie. I don't know if this just means anytime. I'm unsure when there's no icon. Catfish, nighttime, shovel-nosed sturgeon, nighttime, sauger, nighttime. I think the rest of these are going to be daytime till we get to somewhere over here. Walleye. Back to nighttime. Pretty much everything else is daytime active. Try casting out here. We're going to use that big spinner again. I really would love to hook into like a really big one, but at the same time, I don't want to catch nothing. So we keep going back and forth. First time was a 10-pound largemouth. Nice, man. What was that? I saw a big fish surface there. I think the biggest they get's about 11 pounds. What style of lure fishing is a spoon? Example, twitching constant. Spoons are constant. Yet another reason that I love the spoon lures in this game. You don't have to do too much, minus just reel it in at a steady pace and wait for a bite. What rod uses 99-pound line? I believe it's one of those like souvenir rods. This might sound dumb, but why does the burbot resemble catfish? I'm not entirely sure if I know what you mean. Where is Goldstein today? He is spawning right here at this marker. So this is your main lake, right there. Burbot is a catfish. Is it a type of catfish? I didn't know that for sure. I was gonna say I thought it might have been, but I didn't know if that was this, like... I felt like they were in the same family or whatever, but I wasn't 100% sure it was like a type of catfish. I don't know if those are bass I'm seeing. That right there. It's either like a small bass or a decent sized panfish. I like how what we're trying to catch every 12 seconds changes because I see something else. I got something. If this isn't a panfish, we're in trouble. Because this rod cannot. We can handle whatever it is. Nice little green sunfish. I don't think I have a size 8 hook on me, do I? Seven? That's pushing it for crappie and stuff. And you really gotta be so careful. Because again, if we hook into a pike, just cut the line. It's pointless. Let me see on this chart. Green sunfish. Oh, so it's size 6 for diamond, so if there's a big one in here, they should hit it. What's up, Space Cowboy? Just started my alligator grind at Emerald Coast. Wait. Crocodile grind? Can you give me tips so I don't, no, wait. Can you give me tips I don't know how to play the game? Is that what you're saying? I'm gonna need, like, specifics, kind of, like, what kind of tips are you looking for? Are you struggling to catch fish? Struggling to catch big fish, certain kinds? Oh, that's a big one, Casper. Does anyone else pronounce it crappie? I think that's the correct pronunciation. Hi, Shadow. Very true, Altered Oaks. The handbook is, like, it is your most useful tool in the game, and it's right there accessible for you. I'm afraid that wasn't actually a panfish, but I'm going to cast out there anyway. If we see a pike swimming towards us, we're cutting the line immediately. I think it was either a little bass or a panfish. I did see it. Tips to level up on console? Like I was saying earlier, for one, the daily and weekly challenges, when they work, those are the best way to gain, like, a lot of XP. But as far as just catching fish to earn XP, it's really equipment dependent. It depends on, you know, what rods and reels and lines you have access to. Basically, I would try to target the biggest fish that you can pull in consistently. What I mean by that is, let's say you can catch, like, a 10-pound pike, but with the setup you have, maybe it takes you 10 minutes to reel it in. That's not really ideal. You want something that you can reel in probably in under 30 seconds. That way you can catch it, release it, get the XP, and catch another one. So, like this rod and reel setup that I have, we could pretty easily land at least like a 15 or 20 pound fish. So we can go for things like that. If I had that other rod that we caught the sunfish on, I'd be targeting 2 and 3 pounders. Frog or popper for largemouth? Both work. I think the frog might be a little more effective. I can't help it. I have to change to things that catch the smaller ones too. If you see this, I have a question, but it's not about Call of the Wild. What is it about? Stuck on Ruby River Gold 1. Any tips on catching a fish and going for gold sunfish? Is that the specifics that it requires, the gold sunfish? You'd want a size 7 hook and probably like bloodworms. That was either a walleye, I don't know. So hard to tell, like, through the glare of the sunset. 1746. Walleye should be hitting pretty soon. I think there's sauger in here too. The DLC maps, at the moment it's only the Norway map. Really good fish species over there. There's Xander, which I believe those are like European walleye essentially. We have, I think that is a sauger. What if we went to a little smaller thing? Anyway. So you've got the Xander over there, you have Atlantic salmon, their northern pike are bigger, there are brown trout that are just huge. Arctic char, one of my absolute favorites over there. Really cool fish species on that Norway map. Is it possible to catch the Goldstein with an X86 marksman? I'd have to know what the, like, line you can use on that is. I think it's just a decent pike, is it? I don't think. Oh yeah, another walleye. They're hitting a little bit. What size frog should I use to get the Goldstein? You could go with a lot of stuff with that. You can go down to like a size 7, but I would go with, maybe say, what catches a diamond? Like a size 4 or 5? Speaking of bass. A little largemouth hanging out there. Anyway, yeah, if you went with like, I don't think so. That's not right. Or is it? Largemouth. There's a chart, by the way, on my Discord, which I'd highly recommend joining so you can find said chart. Size 3. So I would get like a size 3 then, because at that point, not only do you have the ability to catch like a potential diamond that might be chilling there, also you can catch Goldstein. How do you catch big fish off of 19? I'm missing the 19 part. But generally catching big fish comes down to using a big lure. So you'll notice we're using the smallest spoon lure in the game right now. And we're mostly just catching like little bronzes. We had a bronze largemouth a minute ago. We had was it a bronze walleye, I think? This pike might hit silver. That's a tiger muskie, actually. Either way. Bronze. If we go up a size, some of these like bronzes are going to be too small to hit a lure that big, but you will catch less fish. So that's pretty much all it comes down to. Can I have some tips? I'm level 8, so not the best. I wish I was a little more familiar with like the amount of equipment you can have by level 8. But again, you know, as I've been saying throughout the stream, what I would try to do is like find a particular fish that you can catch fairly reliably. I would recommend a spoon lure. Spoon lures catch at least half the fish species on this map, if not more. Why don't we do this? Let's roll this back in. I'm going to go through everything that I feel like consistently hit on a spoon lure. So, the bass species will, but I wouldn't say it's consistent. Tiger muskie do. Northern pike do. Kokanee salmon do. I think sauger will. Shovel-nosed sturgeon definitely will. Brook trout do. Cutthroats do. Goldens do. Lake trout do. Orids do. Rainbows do. Walleyes, and then I don't think these. So I already lost count. Was it 9? 10? It's about half. So spoon lures are really good. I would get like the smallest possible spoon lure if you're level 8. Start with that. And as you level up, as you get better line, better rods, better reels, you can buy larger spoons that are going to be able to catch larger fish. Where's the chart at? In the Angler chat, it was posted 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It's a little past. I'll pin it in there, actually. Let me bring this cast in. Got a little something coming out of there. By the way, I mentioned bigger lures catch bigger fish. This is a size 3 spoon. This will not be a bronze. This will probably still only be a silver. We're not trying to catch absolute, well, we were trying to catch absolute giants and get no bites, so taking what we can get. What channel is the hook spreadsheet? It's the Angler chat. Here, I'll pin it in there in 1 second. I gotta get this guy up under here. 9.5 pound silver. You see the difference in going up in lure sizes. Alright. I'm gonna pin this message. Okay, check the pins in the Angler chat in my Discord. That chart will be there. I want to do so many different things all at once right now. Okay, let's see if we can. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna keep on looking for big muskie and pike, but also be in walleye land. Take a boat out from this side. Is Norway good to level up? It is. I don't know if it's better necessarily than Golden Ridge. Both have their share of like small, easily catchable fish. I think Golden Ridge has more of them. Like golden trout, they max at about 10 pounds. Rainbows get up to like 17, but your average rainbow's 4 or 5 pounds. Shovel-nosed sturgeon don't get that big. We might be able to catch some of them. I'd love to catch some of them here on stream. What else do we have? Walleye get up to 15. There's a lot of stuff on Golden Ridge that doesn't get huge. But as you level up, there are big fish too. Like lake trout get into like the 50-pound area. You do get, you know, northern pike in that area, 20 pounds. Channel cats, 20 pounds, stuff like that. I'm gonna start with the big boy in case there's a thick pike around here. You think we'll ever see some deep sea fishing maps? I wouldn't be shocked if they go that direction. So from what I can tell, and it's always tough trying to gauge a game's success on like a release weekend or release week as it is for console. My impression is though that generally people are really happy with the game and excited about it. So I would like to think if that's the case and if that allows the game to succeed, then we could see more stuff like that. What else do we have? Skill issues? Accurate. By the way, this is 100 feet deep. This is an option. We can just let this sink. It'll go all the way down to the floor 100 feet. And when I do this, I probably won't do it here because we're down to 30 minutes and I'm going to not spend 5 minutes reeling this in. Typically, I'll retrieve on 1 speed just because it's going to come up off the bottom a little bit more slowly. Hook size for gold perch. Well, we're just dropping this down. Let me open up that chart again. Perch. 7. Hook size 7. Had my 3rd diamond earlier, nearly got good enough gear for Goldstein. Nice, man. You're already ahead of me. How many diamonds do I might have 3 as well. I think it's 3. I have a bass, but that's a mission fish. That doesn't count. Then I have a rainbow. I do have like 12 diamond golden trout, but they were overspawning. So I'd say 1. And what the heck? Oh, rainbow. My diamond rainbow is cool. That's the one I'm actually proud of. Do you like this more than Hunter Call of the Wild? I wouldn't say more necessarily. I'm not typically huge into fishing games, but I really do like this one. It is, you know, kind of the Hunter Call of the Wild of the fishing game realm. You can catch a lot of fish pretty quickly. If you're after, whoop, just hit my mic. If you're after really big fish, it can be more monotonous, like hunting diamonds, say in multiplayer. You're maybe only going to kill a couple things in a few hours. But for my purposes, as someone who's maybe not as into, like, you know, super hyper realism in the fishing game side of things, it's perfect for me. I'm more into hunting in real life too, so therefore I'm more into hunting games. So I would say I still like the Hunter Call of the Wild better, but I'm loving this. There's some coming over to get that. I think a pike or a tiger muskie. Not huge. Got a diamond smallmouth as your first bass? That's crazy, man. I do not have a diamond smallmouth. I really want one. Oh, dang, Nate. I hate when that happens. Like, it's both encouraging and disappointing. What did oh, the other day I was fishing down at the Emerald Lake area, and I had just caught a big cutthroat. It was like a 8-pounder maybe? And I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere, you know, catching big cutthroat. This is a good area. So I cast out again, and I get another bite on a spoon, and it just starts taking line. And I'm like, oh my god, this is it. Diamond cutthroat. It was like a 9-pound lake trout. Forgot they were in there. Where's the list in the Discord? It's in the Angler chat. It's under the pinned messages if you go to that. Favorite map to fish on? I like the rivers better on Norway, but I generally like the lakes and the species on Golden Ridge Reserve better. What bait should I use to get Goldstein? I'd go with like a 2-aught popper or something like that. Could go smaller and maybe get like a size 3 popper. That would probably be more useful, to be honest. Like outside of fishing for just that legendary. What setup is recommended to catch diamond catfish? Sorry if you've already answered this. I have not actually. I will pull up the chart once again because that I do not know. Catfish. Looks like a 1-aught size hook. And probably cheese or hot dogs, I'd imagine. What you could do, diamond catfish are about 20 pounds. You could totally catch them on fluorocarbon or monofilament. If you're really targeting one and don't want to deal with the fight afterwards, you could probably put like, say, 20-pound braid on there and bring it in pretty easily. Nobody wants our spoons. So we can use this like size 3 spoon. And we'll probably catch stuff. It's just not quite as big as I want to catch. Are you going to find the rod? I'll maybe save that for a video or something, just because the way the servers are and stuff, I want to stick with this because I like the time. That is if Walleye and Shovel Nose Surgeon start to cooperate. Got a good muskie this morning. It was the best fish I got, but I got it with a frog. The pike and muskies hit frogs as well. They're aggressive fish. They'll hit... Ooh, that looks big. They'll hit almost anything. I saw it just as it hit the lure. I guess the way that we're bringing it in, it can't be that big. Sure look decent. Yeah, it ain't bad. It's a nice tiger muskie. Maybe double digits. Close enough. What did that say? That just... Wait. New gear add to your backpack. Did I get free stuff? Look at that guy. That's a thickin'. Ain't gonna be too useful for much of anything. Didn't I just buy this? Why is it scrolling like that? I hate it. I swear I just bought... Maybe it was a swim bait. Anyway. What is 2-aught good for? I guess pike and tiger muskie could hit that. Gotta try it, right? Love free stuff. I like the look of it. It's got a kind of a rooster tail-esque look. Imagine we catch a diamond on the first cast. You just got a silver muskie and also level it up. Nice. I don't see any big males coming up out of there. I'm trying for 4 days to get Goldstein and still no luck. Tried every different size and different baits. I've heard that some people have had a hard time like locating them. A lot of times that's half the battle with the legendaries. They can be tough to locate. I don't entirely know if it's a bug or if it's just, you know, maybe it's random chance they actually surface and sometimes you have bad luck. I spent, when I initially caught him, I spent something like 3 or 4 hours total until I located him. I think I located him once. Something happened and I had to go back and locate him again. You think they'll make the hunter servers like the anglers? It wouldn't hurt. I kind of like the idea. I doubt they will, because it's peer-to-peer connection. That would require a complete overhaul of multiplayer, but I kind of like that. That could potentially remove a lot of like the potential exploits that people abuse. I think that's not working. I love that. I want like a size 2 of that. Not 2-aught, just 2. Who's splashing? Goodness, they're everywhere. Alright, let's just pick a side and go. Walleye, pike, muskie, whatever it is. What level are you? Just hit 40. I was level... I don't know if I got to 70. I know I got to level 69 because I put nice on the screen when I leveled up to 69 in a video. And then they changed the level system. I can't even remember. I think it was just to make it make sense as you like earned credits and stuff. So I was back down to 35 or so, and now we're up to 40. That one should go 10 pounds. Just because it's kind of a little tougher to fight. You should be able to catch him with that equipment, Dr. Ghost. What's the heaviest line you got? I'd imagine you can catch Goldstein on like at least 15-pound test. It'd be a long fight. 10.5. I really want a walleye. That's a big one. Well, we'll leave the size 3 on. There's another big one underneath our boat. That's a tiger muskie, but still. A lot of like above average fish, just no giants yet. Are you after a muskie? A little bit. Pike, muskie, walleye, kind of all hit the spoon lures. I'll show you super quick. Starter lake, right in the middle. What can I catch with a popper? Servers are down for multiplayer. Gotcha. The main things that I find that hit poppers are bass, so that's going to be largemouth and smallmouth. I think tiger muskies do. I know pike do. They're aggressive fish, so I believe the tiger muskies fall into that category. You might be able to catch some trout species. I don't know on those. It used to work for everything. It doesn't anymore. But, yeah, the trout and stuff, that would be trial and error to see if it works or not. Can you sleep in the game? You cannot. The servers are all like live servers, so the time is tied to the actual server. You can't change the time. Let's move a little bit. Let's go, let's go... What about all the way up to this end? It'll be a little bit of a ride. You have to be online to play this? I don't know that you have to be online because you can play in single player. But it's still like, it's kind of still a server when you play in single player, so I'm not 100% sure. Diamond for Orrid trout? I don't know the requirement. Is it listed on here? Maybe 12 pounds, that area? No hunting today, just fishing. Why? My main thing was because the game just came out on console, I wanted to, you know, kind of give an opportunity for people to ask questions, because I'll see it in the angler chat and it'll be 2 days later and it'll be answered or whatever, but a lot of times, you know, I see questions that I try to answer, or maybe like the replies get hidden, whatever it ends up being, not hidden, buried. So I just thought this was a good opportunity to play the game for one, have a little fun, experiment with some stuff, because it's a lot easier to experiment in a stream than in a video, and answer questions. Are there small fish such as crappie and bluegill? We have crappie, bluegill, perch, and green sunfish as like the really small species on this map. There are mountain whitefish that are pretty small. What's the one? Grayling on Norway's just a couple of pounds. Trying to go for sturgeon, but I don't know what to use. They'll actually hit the spoons. I'm thinking we should be able to catch a sturgeon. We only got 20 minutes left, but I'm thinking if we get like up against this cover right here, we might be able to pull one out of there. Almost every time that I use, and it's got to be a smaller lure, that might be part of the problem. Almost every time I use a size 5 spoon and cast like in shallow water like this, I'll pull a shovel-nose sturgeon out. So let's see if we can do it again. Easy gold spot for any fish? I've been trying to think of like what fish I feel like make gold the most, because I do want to target those and try to, you know, get more gold tokens. I feel like you can do pretty good catching golden trout, which is kind of, you know, ironic. But again, you know, it kind of comes down to using the right lure and some patience. Got a muskie, maybe? Looks orange to me, so I think so. Ooh. Pulling a little line. I did have the drag pretty low. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that, Colin. Even if, like, I don't know that the spoon is the best lure for the sturgeon, but they do hit it. And it's a really good lure to have for, you know, whether it's pike, as we're catching right now, any of the trout species hit the spoons, the kokanee salmon. It's just a good thing to have in your backpack. What's up, backyard? Heading out, figure you deserve this? Well, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you, man. Appreciate you stopping in as well. I know the good spot for AFK farming gold and diamond tokens. You don't have to DM me if you want to post it, unless there's something like private about that information for some reason. How to change the kilograms to pounds, go to your options, accessibility, all the way at the bottom, the unit system change from metric to imperial. Thank you, Colin. This is either a little pike, or maybe a sturgeon. Could be a walleye too. It's a little musky, actually. Does moving your rod while you're reeling in the fish change anything? Generally, no. Like, for most fights, it's not going to matter. You'll notice I'm not doing it too much here. When I'm fighting a legendary or, like, a really big fish, like, let's say that I was using the size 1 spinnerbait that we were using to try to catch, like, a diamond muskie or diamond pike. If I got a bite on a lure like that where I know it's going to be a big fish, I'm going to do a lot of this. Like, I'm going to keep a lot of tension on the rod, and I'm going to bring the drag up as high as I can without the line tension getting too high. The reason for that is the main way to wear out fish is with line tension. Most of the fish we're catching here, our rod and line is like too heavy for them to really put up much of a fight, so we can just kind of pull them in. It matters more with the big ones. So it does matter, like having that rod tension does tire out the fish more, which is obviously what you want to do. But if you're catching, you know, whatever that was, 4-pound tiger muskie, doesn't matter. Update, my truck is completely de-bed bugged. Excellent. Good news. Try the spinning bait for sturgeon. There we go. Get a lot of bites quickly here. So not the spinner, right? The spinner bait. Just want to make sure that's what you're talking about. Are you able to change time? You are not. That's the one kind of downside. Sturgeon? Yeah. Nice. Oh, that's so close to gold. What is gold for them? They only get 11 pounds? So that's got to be in that gold area. First time we've tracked 5 pounds on one. I like them. They're such a cool fish. So let me go to this again, actually. Now I'm curious. It says size 2 for a diamond one. Well, what the heck? Why don't we throw a size 2 out there? If we get a bite, pike, muskie, sturgeon, anything, it's going to be big. I feel like I'm going to move a little bit. How do you cast so far? I think your rod, reel, and potentially even line are part of that. Because, like, let me compare this setup, I believe. Let me make it the same, just so there's no confusion. So we also use a spoon lure. This setup, if we eat it out there, 98 feet. This setup, which is better rod, better reel, heavier line, but I don't think that part maybe matters as much. Eat it out there, 105 feet. We can get to 110 too. So I think it's just the setup. Caught a 3 or 4 pound muskie this morning with the second rod you get in 2 pound line. I bet you that took a while. How do you switch from mouse and keyboard to console? What you mean by that? I got you, Alexander. I don't know how you get so many fish because I can't catch anything. Using the correct lure in the correct area is pretty much what it comes down to. You'll notice now I'm going to start to catch less fish. I'm hoping we catch something here in the next, like, 15 minutes. I'm going to somewhat attempt to stick with this size spoon. But if you want to catch any fish, use the smallest lure you can get. So a size 6 spoon, size 10 hook if you're using, like, a float rig. Anything can bite on a small lure, but only big fish hit a big lure. So like now we're using a size 2 spoon. That's pretty good size. That tiger muskie that just jumped out right in front of us, he's probably too small to even hit this. Can you explain why there's nobody in my game? The servers seem to be down right now. Is it worth letting the spinner sink a bit to try to grab some fish from the bottom? It can work. That is a good way to catch decent sized lake trout. They're about the only fish that I've ever had that really be effective for. Is 10 pound pike a diamond? Diamond for pike is, I think, 17 pound area. I don't know exactly the number, but it's, well, on Golden Ridge, it's that. The pike on Norway are bigger. It might be 20, 23, I don't know. Where can I find the spreadsheet? If you're in my Discord, it is in the pinned messages for the Angler chat. Is there any way to start a new game? I don't know. I never looked into that. I thought about starting a new game for like a guide for the Angler, but frankly, like, I feel like I know some stuff about the game, but I do not know everything there is to know, and I felt like it would be disingenuous of me to do a guide without like really feeling like I was knowing what I was talking about. Hope they had fly fishing, same. I would love if they really put like a bit of skill into it as well, like, you know, how do I want to put this? The way that you maneuver the rod, whether that's with, you know, your mouse or with the sticks on a controller. Doing that like in the correct, with the correct timing, in the correct motion, should give you a more accurate cast. I want to get so we can reach the shore, basically. Are there any plans for fly fishing? I don't know that we have had anything definitive regarding fly fishing, but I want to say, like, early on in one of their streams when it was asked about it, was like something they had on the mind, kind of. I think saltwater fishing was in that category too, like a, you know, a maybe down the road type deal. So is size 10 hook smaller or bigger than a size 7? Smaller. It's, the larger the number, the smaller the hook. Up until, well, it's still it still qualifies. But let me just show you one thing here. So with these, yeah, I did have a 2-aught. Anyway, this number here, 2/0, 2-aught is the way you would say that. That's bigger than a 2, like a regular size 2. Like, so this size 2 spoon is smaller than this 2-aught jerkbait, or if it was a 2-aught spoon, same deal. I'm gonna put a 3 on. Just because we're more likely to catch decent stuff. Is the Angler only multiplayer, or can it be single player? It can be played in single player, but I think it's still like online single player, if that makes sense. Big hook equals big fish? Basically. Now, it's dependent on the species. Like, okay, let me put it this way. If you're using a size 6 hook, and you catch a sunfish, it's either a big gold or a diamond sunfish. If you're using a size 6 hook and you catch a pike, it can be anything from a bronze all the way up. So, like, it's dependent. For instance, like, a diamond pike, they'll hit on, like, a size, I think, 1-aught and up hook, but they can also bite on smaller hooks. But if you're using a 1-aught and you get a bite from one, it's probably a diamond. I don't know if that made sense. Good catfish spots on Golden Ridge Reserve? I caught my best one right out here. Let's go there, because this is a good spot too. I like this area. So this is Ruby River Range Outpost. You go straight out from here. There is a little area to rent a boat. Can I still catch a legendary when the servers are down? Somebody said they were able to. I tried a little bit earlier and I didn't see them. It may have been there, but I didn't want to spend the time forever in case it wasn't going to work. Anyway, if you're looking for catfish, at least the area I caught the big one, this is good for pike and tiger muskie too. I go out. There's one of those plants that you can report. I go right here. I typically go just a little bit out past that. And I find, at least, when you do that, get stopped, you can kind of cast back towards this rock here. It seems to be decent for pike and tiger muskie, and this, wow, is that dark. Hang on. Now I turn my light on. Oh, not what I wanted, isn't it? What button is it? I will figure this out. Oh, it was on. Okay, we're not going to fish here, because we literally can't see. What about... I wanted to go there, because it is really good for those species. Anyway, that rock that you can cast towards is good. I don't even know what's in here. We're about to find out. What's up, mistress? Where can I find all the 10 kg plus fish? If you want, for instance, a lot of lake trout are bigger than that. This big lake up here in the northwest is really good. There's lake trout in this lake, the Emerald Lake. I think there's some down here too. And there are some in the main lake. Are they going to be adding rod stands? I hope. Wild concept not being able to change the time? Yeah, I'm unsure about that still. Like, there are parts of that I like. For instance, this mere fact that we're basically, we're stuck here. If multiplayer is working, we could go into a multiplayer server, and that may be daytime. But, maybe if I haven't caught very many walleye, or sturgeon, or sauger, or something, it's an opportunity to go and target them. But I would like to be able to do that on my own terms. Is night fishing successful? It absolutely can be. I see a fish. It might have gone for our lure there. I couldn't tell what it was doing. No. But that's a good walleye. Let's go down a couple sizes because he might not be a huge walleye. Oh, it's already on that other rod, which I'm going to take it off because I'm pretty sure I saw a pike and I don't want to catch a pike by accident. I mean, if we do catch a pike by accident, I at least want it on our good rod. Did I unequip that? How did I do that? Try again. So annoying that I need to wait till night to complete this quest. Yeah, those sorts of things are the problem. Where the quests like require you to catch something that's only active at night and you can't get it to nighttime without waiting. I do think some of the quests, like, because they spawn the particular type of fish you need, that can work. What is that? I think that's a sturgeon. Yeah, it is. Not bad. I could tell the way he was swimming. It didn't quite look like a pike. Maybe a gold? What's that? I put a size 5 on, so it might not be. Hey! Nice. So we were only off by half a pound last time. Why, oh why, light post, can't you be over here so I can see my beautiful sturgeon in the daylight? Well, screenshotting it anyway. Screams in fish. Not even the one we were targeting, but we will take gold tokens all day. And yeah, that, to go back to your question, Bottom Boy, you can do really well at night if you know kind of like what you're doing, what you're targeting, all that. If you don't know what type of fish are nocturnal, which you can look in the handbook, it tells you. It is a little tougher to succeed. I unfortunately do not know the meme mistress. I'm big uncultured. Heard that music and thought you got a diamond one, to be honest. I haven't heard the diamond music. When did I catch that diamond largemouth? A month or two back? I keep seeing something surface right over here. That was pretty clutch. We got 3 minutes left in this room. We just got a gold. Just got a diamond perch. Nice, man. Got a diamond largemouth on the second spinning rod. Not bad. There we go. Walleye, I believe. Maybe a silver. I don't think he's quite gold. It's a good one. The thing about the walleye, best I can tell, the models maybe are a little screwed up in the water. They look a little too big to me. Close. That's a good one. So I'm half tempted, and I'm fine. I'm half determined and half tempted to go up a lure size, but considering we're down to the last couple minutes, we'll stick with this. Better odds of catching something, and we can still catch golds. I swear something went right over to that. Maybe it was just the changing light and the current. Must have been. I scared you. Best way to catch northern pike? They, specifically the recommended lure, it's a catfish. The recommended lure for pike is the spinner, or spinner bait actually. There's a spinner and a spinner bait. Don't get them confused. I find they'll hit pretty much any spoon lure consistently, which is, again, the reason I love the spoon lure. So much stuff goes after it. I want to climb. Alright, I'm not climbing. So walleye right there. Wrong rod. Nope. Try again. Biggest possible fish you can catch. At the moment, the legendary lake trout sidewinder is the biggest fish in the game. He will be spawning, I believe, starting this Thursday for a week. That walleye's not Fiona. Ooh, there's a good one. Forget that one. Right there. Go nice slow retrieval with this. Now the thing about walleye, the spoon is not their recommended lure either, so they don't always go for it. I think if we bring this by him a few times, he should get it. If not, we'll just use a recommended bait. Yeah, he's not. Oh. Hang on. Just when we were ready to give up. I don't know. It's so hard to gauge based on the tension. 7, 8 pounds, maybe. Come on. There it is. Famous words I want to climb. 7 pounds. Not too bad. Look at that light. Why couldn't it be like that for our gold sturgeon? Anyway. I do have to head to my parents for my mom's birthday tonight, so as much as I actually would like to extend the stream a little bit to catch more fish, I think that's going to do it, but never a bad deal. We got ourselves a gold token. We're up to 4 here on Golden Ridge. Hopefully, if the servers are back up and running, we'll be able to catch Goldstein before Thursday so that we can get that legendary token. And I think, you know, despite the fact that we didn't catch any diamonds today, going through that chart, seeing what size lures are good for what, I feel like we can start to establish a plan of like, hey, you know, maybe we can use a size 2 spoon, potentially catch gold pike, gold muskie, target diamond sturgeon, potentially diamond walleye. I didn't look where the walleye are at there. That was fun. I really enjoyed that. Hopefully we can stream The Angler again sometime soon. Perhaps even this week again on Friday. We shall see over on Twitch. But on that note, that's going to do it for this one. So, as always, thank you guys for watching it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support today. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments of this stream or an Angler video. I'll try to get to those. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!